leadership. And today we're having Mr. Haike, and he'll be speaking on the impact of the film and the television industry for the development of West Africa and Africa at large. So we're gonna waiting for him to join us now. And it's someone I've been watching right from when I was a child. We watched Tinsel, and then I see how creative he is. And today, it's a privilege. It's a great privilege to have him here today. So we're gonna wait for him to join us right away. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll wait for him while he joins us now. So to I basically I believe one of the reasons I actually decided to put this up is because of the film and the television industry has a large impact and has a large role in helping young people, come with visions and ideas. So somehow it's like the television has a way of crafting the vision of young people. Okay, so we have him live now. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. I'm going to add you now. Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. It's good evening. Good evening.
It's evening. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing. I was remembering your face the last time I watched you when I was in Ghana, and I can remember since so when you were like sort of like wow, like, I'm having to actually be live with you right now. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. I'm very, very grateful.
No problem. Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is all mine.
Okay, thanks very much. So I'm going to read your introduction right now and then we start. So please help me mention Mr. Ike, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Yeah, great.
Okay. Mr. Ike is an actor, a director, and a producer and comic book creator. His love for art cannot be quantified. He strives on creating quality content, true Africa content that will bring Nollywood every bit closer to the global standard in every sense, to do his best and to do it well. He's open to opportunities that will entail in making film and TV production or being involved in any form that will bring his unique and African story to the world. As AMVC nominee for the Best Actor in a Drama Series, now the bona fide graduate of the notable film school where he majored in film and TV directing. He's popularly known for playing the actress and multiple award-winning Tinsel, Mnet Production, a director and producer, being in the entertainment industry for over 20 years and working front and behind the scene. The CEO of 1704 Production Limited. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So now the
yes. All right. Yes. I'm glad to be here. I'm honored actually to be here. And you see, the topic itself is one that cannot be discussed entirely in one session because it is quite broad. I mean, we're talking about film and TV here. And, it's always best to trace your steps back to where it all began, which we all know that it's theater. Theater gave birth to film and TV. And, theater came in the 5th century, in the time of the Greek and all that, and Dionysus and all that. So theater actually gave birth to film and TV. And as humans, first off, we always seek art. Art is part of life. And there are different forms of art. And if you want to talk about film and TV, you can't talk about it entirely without talking about theater, which is the performing arts. We are always in search of wanting to express ourselves in other forms. And apart from the literary arts and our visual arts, this particular performing arts is one that has been as old as time. Now, theater is a reflection of our life, just like film and TV. Right now, as we speak, life is copying from film and TV. Now, the advent of film started in the late 18th century with some people trying to take the theater to a different level, a way that we can actually, package it and sell it to the audience, a way that you can actually do more with it. So they decided to, start film, and from then on, they started perfecting it, because back then it was in black and white, and it was with no sound, and they started perfecting it over time. So over the time, TV came out as a product of film. For me, film and TV has come to stay, and it has come to us, the West, the Africans. And for me, I believe that it's a big platform, it's a big industry. Now, film and TV has impacted and is impacting on us heavily. I want to start by saying that the industry itself is one that can employ all forms of profession. In the film and TV industry, you can actually have all forms of profession. You can have your engineers, you can have your architects, you can have your doctors, you can have your accountants, and they all perform their work within that industry. Now let me not go too far. Let me take it step by step. Now, for me, for film and TV, I feel that it's one profession, or rather, it's one industry that we as the youths, or rather, the youths have to understand how enormous it is. It has a psychological and a social effect on our lives. Apart from the fact that it actually gives us, it's a form of, what's it called now? Income. Because people, like I said, you have all these professionals working within the industry. It also helps us in terms of our social and our psychological growth. Now, what do I mean by that? In Africa now, we have always been known to tell our stories through the oral tradition. Going back in time, where our forefathers will tell you this story, and you pass it down orally. Now we have found ourselves in an era where film and TV has come to stay. And we are now trying to transfer that. We now have to use this new form to marry it with our ancient form, which is the oral, and bring it to fore. Now personally, I feel that we're not doing as much as we need to. There are so many stories that are still in the shelves that need to be brought to fore. Now, we have film and TV as a form where we can actually preserve our history. Film and TV can actually affect us socially, can affect us psychologically. Now, in terms of preserving our history, we have films like Troy. I don't know if you've seen Troy. We have films like Hollywood films like Troy, 300, name it, Titanic, based on true events. Now, these films, watch it till today, you will realize that this is the life. They're trying to reenact what has happened before. And with that piece of material, they have actually put that in time, and it will not be forgotten.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Aside that, one of the things our young generation today are fixated on is music. and one of the ways we present music is the music videos. You find out that you find people watching these videos and dreaming of lives that they want to achieve or that they can achieve. They think about money, they think about girls, they think about the good life. And it affects them psychologically. Now, for me, that is the most important aspect of film and TV, the psychological effects it has on our society and on the young. We can use this form positively. Now, we can, I don't know if you can remember, there's a program they used to show on TV back then called Title Sesame Street.
Yeah.
It's for Now, Sesame Street was one of the programs that was done to actually improve the young mind, to teach them, to help them. And a case study was performed, and they realized that the young people or the children that were exposed, that watched Sesame Street, actually had an IQ from 1 to 3. So had a leap. So it was a positive, experiment. So they decided to make Sesame Street worldwide. So that particular production showed how effective and how strong TV can be. Now, if we, as the guardians of this industry, choose to channel or to create or to educate our young people with this, we will realize that it will affect them positively. So film and TV you cannot undermine the positive, or rather the effect it has. It actually challenges audiences' perception. It can actually make you question your opinions. We can actually use it to drive people politically. It's that powerful in the psychological sense. Now, a couple of movies have come out and people have actually had problems with them, and but this is just goes to show the effect of it. Now, there's a movie that came out last, if I'm not mistaken, was it last year, last 2 years? It was titled The Joker. It was made by Warner Brothers. It's under the whole. It's one of the movies that were gotten from comics. It's called The Joker. Before the movie came out, critics were saying that they shouldn't put the movie out. Why? Because they feel that it will affect the young people. It will lead them into violence. Why? Because there are there are bits and if you watch the movie, you realize that there are some violent scenes. But critics were they put so much pressure on the distribution house not to let that film come out because they felt that it was going to affect the young people in society, negatively. That this just goes to show how much we can actually use this to affect our young people. Now, going back to employment, I feel it's one industry that can bloom. In the 90s, I hope I'm not getting my figures wrong, America actually had 50% of their GDP coming from film and TV. Now that is one aspect that we are getting there. Let me not condemn us. We're getting there, but we've not actually gotten there yet. This is one aspect that can actually help us financially in this country. Now we have a lot of young people looking for what to do with their talents. We can actually have our young people look at this industry. I mean, like I said before, it's one industry that can actually accommodate every profession. Now, streamlining it to the entertainment parts, the film and TV parts, you could, as a young person, you could pick up the profession to want to be a cinematographer. You can say, okay, I want to direct a film. Okay, I want to write stories. Okay, I want to learn how to edit. Okay, I want to learn how to hold, to know how to put sound together. These are positions in the industry that actually can make you, that are professional, that can actually hold you and sustain you. So we have a lot to do in this industry. We have a lot to do, and I always commend the youth. Whenever I see them, people come up to me and tell me, I want to be an actor. I always tell them, look, it's not just about being an actor. You can actually go behind the scenes and make more money if you want to. You get, because we need to understand that this is one profession that is beautiful and it is artistic, and you can actually find a place. Even if you love numbers, you can find a place where you can actually key into this industry and make money and push our society forward. We have a lot of youths that are out there that don't know what to do. I always tell people, Google is your friend. Go to Google. Go to Google. You want to learn how to be a cinematographer? Go to Google. There are some classes there that you can actually sit down and start learning. You can watch them. You can see videos. Keep harnessing your skill, and you will find a job. You know, keep harnessing that skill. If you want to be an editor, go to Google. Keep harnessing that skill. If you can't afford a film school, you know, go there and you will find something for yourself. So we need to understand that this particular industry is massive. This particular industry is big, and it is one that can actually push our society. It's one that can actually give jobs to a lot of young people in the society. So we should not be able to look down on this. We should understand the power that this industry has for us and embrace it, whether before or behind the camera. And if you choose to write stories, you become one that can actually tell stories and can actually bring history back. You know, we have so many stories to tell. We've not started talking about our political stories. We've not talked about the colonial era. We've not talked about what happened before colonialism came. We've not talked about our various individual village stories. You know, these are stories that we can actually bring out and teach our young people, and they will understand what we have. Because right now we do not have, what I like it or not, a lot of people don't know where they are from. They don't know the culture that they have. They don't know the beauty of the place they are from. You don't know the history. You know, and we have all this. We can actually do research and put them in film, because whether I like it or not, people spend more time on TV and film than they do in their books.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. So we can actually use this medium to educate people, to enlighten people while you're entertaining them. So it's an impactful medium. It's an industry.
Wow.
So is key. Yeah,
Wow.
Sorry, somebody just said it's true.
I think I need to clean that now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Doris. Okay. Doris, hi. Yeah. So
now, story is king. Wow. Okay. So, Mr. IK. Now, we have for me, I've studied the system, the film and the movie industry, and I've seen that he has a very large role to play in how young people think, and then how they even craft their personal vision for themselves. Presently, we have young people that are actually lost right now. A lot of young people that are lost right now because of it looks like some of the movies are concerned about their profits than the impact they need to really make. I don't know if you can hear me.
I lost you there. What did you say?
Okay, so I'm saying some of the movie industry we can say that are more concerned about profit than the impact it needs to make in the life of the young people. So how do we change the mindset of young people right now that they really want to be famous? They also want to make impact. But at the end, what they're producing is actually causing negative impact on the people. So how do we change this narrative now?
Well, it's not one man. Well, okay, let me not be negative. Okay, well, yes. Okay, so it's in every strata, in every facet, in every community, there's always the bad egg and the good egg. There's always people that want to swing this way, that want to swing that way. Most of the time we produce like one of the things that we have as a problem, not really a problem, a challenge in our industry is that we don't have a lot of investors coming in. You know, most of the filmmakers I see around me are people that do it out of passion. You know, because they want to, and whether you like it or not, it's still a business. You know, you use 10 naira to produce something. You want to get 10 naira back and get a profit so that you can make another film. If you keep losing, I mean, in the business, it's common sense, you better pull out. But everybody wants to make everybody wants to make money. So because of that, a lot of people want to make commercial films that they feel that can easily be sold, and you know, the reception is better. So they tend to make those commercial films, and in the process of making those films, the story might come out this way or that way and send a negative, like I said, with the film of Joker, and send a negative, feel out there to the youths. But that does not mean that they are not good storymakers, storytellers in our industry. Our quest is, because I always tell my producer friend, which is my wife, I always tell her that we are getting there. We are getting, if you check our films from the 80s to the 90s to now, you realize that there's been a movement. We are getting there. I mean, right now, Netflix is considering putting money in our films. We are getting there. And in the process of getting there, yes, we will make some mistakes along the way, but we are getting there. And in getting there, we now have to define what we're doing. We have to get better at it, get better in our storytelling, get better in the production value. It's not a one-day thing. Hollywood that we see today, they took years, they took centuries to get there. I mean, they started film came in the late 18th century, and they had all that time till now to perfect their industry, and they are still struggling with one or two things. But at least, I mean, they're in a level that we can't, pass. But I mean, our industry is still young compared to theirs, but we are getting there. So in the process of getting there, we're going to write better stories. I know, because they are better. What's the word now? Our storytellers are getting better. That is why I always tell people that if you know you have it in here, you have your stories in here, put it down. If you feel that God has given you that talent, okay, I want to write stories, write the stories. Because I feel I'm a supporter of art for life's sake. If you are making art, don't just do it for art's sake. Do it for life's sake. Because whatever you put out there will be received positively or negatively. So strive to tell the positive side of every story. Even if you're going to show how bad things are, let there be a silver lining at the end of the tunnel. And what I like it or not, if you check the blockbuster list, it's always good versus evil, and good always wins. All the movies, from Titanic to Avengers to the movies that are the top 10, is good versus evil. Good must always win. So let us try to inspire ourselves with the films that we make. We're getting there. It's unfortunate that some stories actually sway the audience here and there, and our young people these days, they pick up a lot of things. They pick up a lot because they watch it constantly on TV, and that's why, no offense to my music makers, to my video music makers, but I feel that we can do more in terms of music videos. There's this perception that we feel whenever we watch music video, like the life is this easy. Life is full of, I'm no offense, because it all comes from here. But I feel that we can do better. We can show our young people that there's a system of hard work and getting there. Hard work doesn't have to be you carrying this and that, or hard work can be here. They tell you work smart. But there's a system. You have to apply, you have to work, you have to get something, you have to, that system. In our films, we can actually chip it in. We're doing that, we're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah. It's a system and it's working. System. We get there.
Wow. I don't know, but I'm really impressed. I can see the optimism right now. And so we have one question more. Basically, this is for young people. And the reason is because I believe that during the NSAS protest, and I saw a lot of you with passion and everything. And I was asking myself, okay, if these young people will come in power now, are they really prepared for it? So now we want to change this government, but are we really prepared to actually even take their place? So I believe the movie industry has a large role to play in actually helping young people cultivate the mind and getting them prepared for leadership. How do we balance, as young leaders in the movie industry, how do we balance the place of character and the place of having to actually follow your passion at the same time? By nature, West Africa, we're religious.
Yes.
Where we have to balance our faiths, because some certain things will come and then we have to compromise. So you've been in this for years, over 20 years, and it's something that I've been watching you right from when I was a child. So, and I've watched you and I've seen certain traits that I can say you're a man of character. So what advice would you give to young people when it comes to balancing character and the movie, and at the same time religion? That's our faith.
Okay, let me see if I got you right. You want to know how to balance your character and with the fame. Is it fame or faith or religion and all that?
No,
staying true to your character. Well, I think it's a matter of principle. because of, we can't lie, the society we live in today has a lot of pressures coming from everywhere. That's why you find people, doing things that are illegal and all that. The pressure is constantly coming. As filmmakers, if we are given the opportunity to make as much movies as we can, I'm sure a lot of people would want to tell stories that would show this. But because of the influx of finance, we're not so we try to make, like I said before, commercial films that can actually, bring some returns. Then everybody still has that film, that story you want to tell that can actually impact the audience. So in this whole process, we're getting there. People are coming in, so we'll start with time. Films will be made to teach people. But back. Let me backtrack to what you asked me. How can you have to understand that whatever you give out, there's something called karma. Whatever you give out, it will come back to you. It might take years. Every choice you make in your life has a repercussion, whether good or bad. Let me take an example. My dad, for one, he's late now, but he was a man who was always wanting to help people, and sometimes he did it more than we expected him to do it. We are a country that is filled with churches and mosques. But the true religion, the true Christianity, the true Islam, the true Buddhism is in your heart. It's what you do when no one is looking. You get, so the guiding force is, that I tell myself is, whatever I do in secret or whatever I do, would I be proud enough to tell my parents? Would I be proud enough to face God and tell them this is what I did? So as young people, you should always keep telling yourself, so that if you're placed in a place of fame, always tell yourself, always remind yourself where you're coming from. Whatever I do in this life, it will come back to me. If I do bad, it might not come back now. It might take 10 years, but it will come back. It will come back. So that is my guiding force. And that is what I always tell young people, please, whatever you do, whatever actions you want to take, remember that. And in terms of, like I said, in terms of film, I also use this medium to talk to filmmakers out there. We should always give our characters, even in as much as we always want to write intrigue and suspense and all that, there should always be a point in our story where we should guide, no matter how subtle it is, good versus evil. Good should always win. Silver lining. No matter how, let us understand, let us show the audience that the choices that our characters make would affect their life. So if we continue to tell the audience that, they will know that everything they do would affect them in the future. Wow. I don't know. I hope I answered it somehow.
Yeah. Thanks so much. So this is the last thing I tell the speakers, and I guess when they come, the last question is, what advice would you give to young people? With everything happening right now in Africa and West Africa, this is a platform I believe other people also watch this, those who are watching now and those who will watch the later. I believe it's majorly for young people. What advice do you have in place that you want to give to young people and your leaders?
What advice? Follow your dream. Follow your dream. I know it might be ambiguous. Follow your dream. You're asking me what's your dream. Your dream is your talent. There was a movie I watched a long time ago. It's The Power of Film and TV. Sticks. I watched the movie a long time ago when I was much younger. One of the tagline in the film was wasted talent. Sorry, let me paraphrase. I'm trying to remember the exact word the person used. But the worst thing in life is wasted talent. The worst thing in life is wasted talent. If you know you have a talent in writing stories, right? Your talent will become skill over time. If you know you have a talent in pictures, like when you see it, you can actually pick out a fine picture. Maybe you see the way the sun is coming and the way the rays are coming behind the clouds and all that. If you feel you have that, pick up the camera and start snapping. You end up becoming a photographer one day or a cinematographer. Follow that. And what I like it or not, whenever you do the thing that actually God has blessed you with, you'll be happy with yourself. Most of the time, whenever we find ourselves, because of a nation, we find ourselves doing things that we do not want to do, you find out that you won't get joy in it. You know? So I tell you today, as a youth, find that talent you have, make yourself happy, make something out of it, and you'll be happy. And do not forget that whatever you do, whatever decision you make, whatever thing you do, always know that there's always a repercussion. You know, the society is hard as it is. It's not. I can't sit here and lie to you that everything is fine. You know, it's not as we want it to be. The society is not what we want to. We always want to see the good side of it. You know, so in our little way, let us try to do the things that we love. Even if you are working in the bank and you feel like I can write a story, you'll be writing that story while working in that bank. You get. Do not let your talent go to waste. You know, and always remember every action has a repercussion.
Wow, thanks so much, sir. Thanks so much, sir. So we have two people live. Please, I want us to say thank you to Mr. IK. Thanks so much. I'm very, very grateful for this privilege. And it's like something, I don't know, it's like a dream come true, you know, having someone I've been watching right from when I was young. And I'm like, thanks so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm very, very grateful. Okay, so I'm going to let you go right now and then.
All right.
Okay, sir. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Okay, thanks very much everyone for joining. I'm very grateful. I want to say thank you. Let me see everyone who's alive now. I want to say thank you to Mrs. Doris. Sorry, the storyteller. I want to say to Mr. IK. I'm so grateful, and I hope that we would keep impacting young people because I believe we're the future, and we have to protect it by having to actually correct the notion we have about everything we're meant to do in life. Thanks very much, Ma, and thanks for the word. Story is king. Okay, so next session is next week Saturday, which is with Mr. Jackson from USA, and he was a retired US soldier, and he'll be speaking about developing the mindset of resilience. So that's it. So I'll see you guys later next week. Bye.